holidays are over, but the bills are still arriving. So how do we put a handle on such debt? Well, joining us today is Ned Handy, president of Citizens Bank in Connecticut, to help us put it all in perspective. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Jocelyn.
Great to be here
again.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Ned, so a lot of people are getting these bills now from the holidays, and they're just not quite sure what to do about it. So what can we do first? And I think one of the things you say is pay it off.
Absolutely. That's the best solution is to pay it off completely if you can. Of course, not everybody can do that, but you know, reducing debt entirely is the best possible solution.
And if they can't pay it off totally, what should they do?
Pay it down. You know, I think pay it down as much as you can. I think right now, it's a good time for people to take a break and look at their balances and pay them down as much as they can. Consolidate balances is a great way to do it. See if you can. Now, there's some costs associated with that from time to time, but you look at credit card offers. If you've got credit card debt on multiple cards, see if you can't consolidate those debts and create one single payment. It might result in a lower payment, but you got to read the fine print. You got to make sure that you're not incurring fees for doing that.
When you say pay it down, should you look at the credit card with the lowest interest rate first to pay off, or I mean, what's the plan?
Yeah,
what's the
of course.
strategy
Well,
there?
I think you want to pay off the highest interest rate first, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you want to see if you can't leave your debt on the lowest possible cost card available to you.
Okay, and for a lot of people, though, that's still difficult. They just really need to plan it out.
Yeah, you do. I mean, people need to be careful, and right now is not a time to incur additional debt. So I think, you know, we've gone through the crunch of the holidays, and it's time to take a breather and make sure you're in control, and then take steps to help yourself by lowering your interest rate, as I said, consolidating debt into single payment. Lots of prudent steps, and it's the aggregation of all those little steps that really improves the picture.
And if you have to, just put them away, so you're not tempted to use them, right?
That is a solution. You know, many people have too many credit cards, and you don't need to have too many credit cards, and so one solution is not to use them. To cancel credit cards can cost your money. There can be fees associated with canceling, and it can affect your credit score. So you got to be careful not to do that. But that doesn't say you can't cut them or just plain not use them.
Exactly. So if you cancel them, it may affect your.
Again, the fine print. You got to understand every action that you're taking. But it's not a bad thing to look into.
Okay. And we also said, you already mentioned it, keep your debt down.
Yeah.
And then now consider money. What do you mean by that?
Consider
money.
Yeah. So home equity loans, home equity lines, or cash. I mean, frankly, if you can use cash, use cash. I like to think of it this way. If you are perfect about paying off your credit card every month, then you can consider using your credit card borrowing from yourself. If you're not perfect, and this is a real self-assessment, you got to look in the mirror. If you're not perfect about it, then you're borrowing money from the bank, and you're paying very high interest rates. So you got to be smart about that. Use cash where you can, and you can access other assets. So home equity lines or home equity loans might be a good alternative to consolidating your debt. Use your house equity as a way to pay off higher rate, more expensive debt.
All right, great advice as always. Now let's talk a little bit about corporate philanthropy. How important is that? I know you guys are big.
Yeah, it's such a part of our core value system, and it is for a lot of reasons. Our employees, and employees of any company, like working for a company that shares their values, that they can think of the company as being a responsible part of the community. And consumers like doing business with companies that take a part and take a responsible role in bettering the community. And so for us, it's the employees, it's our customers, and it's also the communities themselves. I mean, there is no question that healthy communities are critical to the health of a bank or any company. And so it's really developing a long-term relationship with the community. It's not about being there at certain times and not at others. And right now, obviously, is a critical moment for communities everywhere. I mean, they're all under more stress than normal times. And so, to have partners in corporations like ours that are going to be there through thick and thin, it's critical. And
this is really a mission of the bank, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we've got so many great partners in the community that we do great things with and through. do, and we don't do it all directly, but what we do indirectly, and frankly, one of those partners is News 8, and so I'd like to take a minute to just congratulate you, not only for what you're doing to inform consumers, and I'm happy to be a part of that, but also what you do with us at Citizens Bank as a partner in the Champions in Action program, which is obviously a wonderful program, one that I think we're both collectively happy to be partnering in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love making a difference in the communities in where we live.
Yeah, it's where I spend most of my time, so I'm happy to be a positive part of it.
Ned, can companies still be community-minded and still make a favorable impact on the bottom line?
Of course. This isn't just about feeling good. This is good business. This is keeping the communities, keeping the consumers with whom we do business, on whom we rely for our own business, keeping them healthy, keeping them thinking positively, and obviously sending a strong message about our own company and why they would want to do business with us. So absolutely.
And just a little bit ago, you made an announcement a few weeks ago on the latest Champions in Action, and who did we?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course. It's both of us. Hartford Economic Development Corporation, which is a great company, mostly based in Hartford, been around for 35 years. They have made $100 million in loans to small businesses, oftentimes in our urban cores where we need economic development to be spurned. And so they're just a great company. Sam Hamilton, the executive director, has been a constant rock in the Hartford marketplace as a proponent of economic development from the grassroots up. So we're obviously both thrilled to be able to support.
And they received a check of
$25,000.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does. In an agency like that with a relatively small budget, $25,000 goes a long way. And not to be left out, the media attention that News 8 gives these champions, and the volunteer hours that both of our organizations give to these agencies, and the visibility in our branches and on the Citizens website and also on the News 8 website. It's just, I think it's an invaluable package.
And more nonprofits can take part, and all they have to do really is to go onto your website, and that's www.citizensbank.com.
Correct, yep, and in your community is the tab within the website that they need to go to, and they can apply to become champions, and
and there's the website right there.
Excellent, and we name a champion each quarter, as you well know.
Absolutely, and it's always a major announcement and an exciting time for that nonprofit.
It sure is, and we like a little element of surprise, and we like to deliver the check in style. Oftentimes when a board meeting is in session and they're totally unaware, it's really a great uplifting program.
It is. Ned Handy, thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure, Jocelyn. Thanks.
And we'll be right